Well done. Excellent. Thank you for your talks. Great story. I remember the first moment I saw something was outside my kitchen door one morning. What's that? And then really my daughter kept seeing you walking by with your scarf on. He's there again, Dad. Well done, mate. Well done. What have you been doing? Have you seen how thick this report is? It's more than my telephone book.
Really tells a story, that one.
Oh, well done. Yes, you've interpreted well. Look, well done. Thank you. Especially thank you to Tal, because we were opening Carnarvon Station and we'd got a lot of work to do, and our minds were full of all sorts of stuff, and then the subject of interpreting some stuff came up, and we sort of really did throw Tal in at the deep end, and you responded very well. So thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate it.
I'm glad you I know you hate it.
I'm very pleased with that.
He's a good box, just
We just have that all year, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that'll do.
Thank you. I'm very pleased with what you've done, and thank you for your efforts. I think it's important to say that machinery, I didn't know that was coming. And I've been sat in meetings where people have been talking about the old machines at Boston Lodge and what are we going to do with them and how we're going to save them, and I'm thinking, oh, how on earth can we get round to doing some of this work whilst we, our hands are full with looking after the railway. And then I'll turn up in Boston Lodge and you're doing it. Yeah. This is great. Now the smaller machines I thought were fantastic, but then when you started on the Kendall and Gent shaper, I couldn't believe that you were tackling it, because I thought that would never move again. And so we found that picture, didn't we? So but well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And you're joining my friends at the A1 Trust as well. I think I've got a few things to say. First of all, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Kaz. When we started out on this journey, it's quite a while ago. There is just a little bit of a story to it, in that it is probably something like 20 years since we last got any funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, or National Lottery Heritage Fund as it now is. And we'd felt quite frustrated about that, and we'd applied for various grants along the way, and always there was this deal to be done which said the lottery will give you a certain amount of money, and in return we have to do something to help the lottery achieve their objectives. And often the balance of that didn't feel quite right. We couldn't quite get it right. And often we thought, well, the deal was we'd get something physical from a lottery fund, like a building restored or a carriage or an engine or something, and in return we would share training and skills with people. This scheme, the Skills for the Future scheme, is completely different, because there are no capital elements to it, there are no buildings, no engines, there's nothing like that in this scheme. It's all about us sharing our skills with people. And when we first looked at that scheme, we thought, well, what's in it for us? Just at face value, what's in it for us? And then when we thought about it some more, we realised that the biggest challenge that we face is not our buildings or our engines, carriages, track or whatever. It's none of that. It's our people. And people with skills to look after the railway. Because if we haven't got them people, we haven't got a railway. And that sort of came into fairly sharp focus. Now, then we found ourselves applying for a Heritage Lottery Fund grant, which was all about training and teaching people and so on. And you think, well, how well equipped are we to apply for this grant? You look at the forms and you try and put the words in the right shape, and it's very difficult indeed to say the right things. We knew what we wanted to do, but trying to get that message across was particularly difficult. Fortunately, in that process, Kaz came to the fore to help us, as did another lady who can't be here today, a lady called Natasha George, who helped us filling in those forms. And we managed to get through the first round of our application, which amazed us really that we actually got through. And then we spent several months doing this development work to be able to get the money to do this project. And Kaz and Natasha worked very hard on that, and I must admit I was pulling my hair out at times because I just didn't speak that language that was needed for these forms. And so having Kaz and Natasha there to do that was great. And we were rewarded for their input by the award of this project. It's an award of something like £440,000. There's a lot of money that has gone into this project. And, you know, even when we won it, and I know I sat in this room and told the company board that we'd won the Skills for the Future grant and that, you know, the first 10 trainees would be with us in 6 months' time, I could still see that they were still really trying to understand what was this actually about. Even now, I think the board would not be quite certain, but fortunately we now have that wonderful video to share with them, which I will at our next board meeting, so that they can understand the importance of what's been happening. And I think the transformation has been just amazing, and it started in the first week of this project, because by the end of the first week, which is when I met Sam underneath the canopy at the station, who was this? Ben was there as well, and I could sense an excitement amongst our staff, because they were working with some young, enthusiastic people who were keen to do something. So you've brought something quite amazing to us. You've brought energy. I described it as like having a blood transfusion. All of a sudden the place is and exciting, all these people around, and that has been really good. And I know a lot of you have said sort of like thank you to the people who have trained you, but I'm saying back to you, thank you very much indeed for the energy that you've brought to us. And actually you've made us think, you really have. You know, there's things that you've done that I would never have imagined that we'd be doing, and that has been very good. I'm absolutely delighted that so many of you have got jobs with us and are going on to other things as well. I mean, that is just brilliant. I'm so pleased about that. And I'm sure that those of you who haven't got a position yet will now have something that would be great to help you as you go on to try and find jobs in the future. That's a real good thing to have in your CV. But I come back to the thing that I really want to say, and that is that throughout this, I've watched Kaz working away on the project quietly, determinedly, long hours, beating around with the HLF spreadsheets and forms that have to be filled in, beating up managers who haven't sent their forms in, you know who you are, but just trying to make all this pull together. It's immensely important for us because we want to go on to have other Heritage Lottery funding as well, and we've just made a big bid for a £4 million project for Boston Lodge, so it really is fingers crossed at the moment. But I know that we've put ourselves in a position to apply for more funding because of what Kat has done and her professionalism. So I just want, on behalf of all the trainees and the managers, to say a huge thank you to Kat.
There are messages in the front of it to remember us by.
And it is the obligatory function. Before I sit down, I know that all of the managers managers and team have put a lot of effort into supporting Kaz. I know you all have, so and that is appreciated. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Emotional there.
Yeah, that looks
Snug it up together.
that looks the waist. Come on, Smith, give it a bit of a...
Only bite on Wednesdays.
Ow!
Say cheese.
Cheese.
I'm going to do a few here. So.
Brilliant.
Right.
Perfect.
Food. Food. Yes.
Straight, guys.
Thank you.
Right. Hold him back. Hold him back. Very good.